So the boss Laseer, final boss of one of the phases, the final phase, but one of the rotations of Void Rift, is one of the hardest bosses in the game, and even stages in the game, in my opinion. And that is a large part to do with just how he works, the amount of damage he does, his special mechanic, and his stage is just hard in general. When I started this game, and I got to this, I thought this was the hardest stage in the game. Now, I'm a little unsure about that statement, but it still is one of the most difficult things to complete in this game, at least for me. Looking into it, this is the stage. Laseer comes out over here at some point during the fight. He does lots of single target damage. He does AoE damage to the entire screen, and he's just a big problem to deal with. And that's not including the fact that these annoying summoners spawn over here, and they constantly summon these slimes that get in the way over here, and it's a big hassle. So what I find easiest to do is, and a lot of people use this strategy too, is you kill Laseer when he gets around this area as soon as possible. What I had to do the first time I beat this on hard with the limited units is I had to place Oleg here, and I had to use 2 healers. It was very rough. He barely survived on 1 HP, and I barely won because my gear wasn't strong enough to burst him down immediately. I had to stall him, and it was incredibly tough and very close. But yeah, so I will be using Silas because he is the best for this stage, just to put it simply. He ignores defense, which is good against when the enemies petrify. He does a lot of damage. He's just very good, but you can use Nocturne, you can use Hex, you can use Idril, you can use Cetrum. As long as it kills the boss, it doesn't matter. As long as you have something good. I have seen Twin Fiend and Zilla 2, and even Pyros and Zilla 2 can one-shot the boss pretty much. And there's just a lot of ways to do it. As you can see here, lots of Silas, lots of Piercers, lots of just high single target damage. Silas obviously is the most popular, but as you can see here, someone used Imani and Zulatu with a Dolores and a Nightmare team with Aelin for heals. That works too. Whatever works for you is recommended. It's different for everyone. But anyways, this is the team that I have opted to use. I was using Arrogance instead of Dolores, but it wasn't seeming to work, so I have put in Dolores. I use Wrath to stall the first couple enemies because he has really good self-sustain. I use Abomination to help with the slimes. Silas and Abomination both deal with the slimes together. I use Vierna for the mages because there's a mage class bonus. I think I can beat it without that, but she's just really nice to have for that, even though they resist magic a little bit. I will say Hatsit is by far the best to do that role. She instantly kills the summoners when they appear, or at least one of them. You can use Razak and Maul and stuff like that. You could probably use like Brienne if they're built well, or whatever. It doesn't really matter, as long as you get them killed fairly early so the slimes don't become a big issue. I'm using Hollow and Vortex, they're my 2 healers, just to cover the whole map and keep everything alive when Laseer is doing crazy damage. Oleg is for stalling the boss. And that's just the whole loadout. I'll show the gear after if this is a successful run, but as I said earlier, I recorded a bit and realized that Arrogance wasn't cutting it for me, and I needed to swap strategy again, so this is my second time recording. Anyways, so I placed Wrath a little bit, like around 18 cost when it's accumulated. It seems to work for me, and I placed Fiona down. As you can see, Wrath does not have a lot of HP on my build. He has a decent amount of damage, but you don't need that much damage. I just place him down, and he self-sustains long enough for me to put a healer here. If you're using 2 wide-range healers, which I would recommend, it makes it very easy. You can place Vortex over there, and soon you'll place Hollow here, but not quite yet. I'm going to put Silas down, and I'm going to put Dolores down purely so she can build up some rage for when the boss comes out. And I will then be placing Abomination to help Silas with the slimes. Also, I forgot to Vienna ult. You should have done that much earlier, but I forgot. So that's on me. This might be a lot harder of a run without doing it correctly. As you can see, there's a big slime right there, but hopefully it's not an issue. Anyways, I will be Silas and Dolores ulting fairly soon when the boss gets in range. Hopefully they can kill the slime and then the boss very soon. I did get the boss to 1 HP using Arrogance too, and no Dolores. I'm gonna be Vortex ulting because we're trying to keep everything alive as soon as possible. Oleg's kinda dying, and this should be good enough. Yep, we kill it instantly. We're good, and then we just have to deal with the rest of the rounds, and that part isn't as hard, although there are summoners that come out here. But that's basically all you have to do is burst it down. But if you check out one of my earliest videos I posted, or I'll just tell you what happened. What I did there was actually what I did was I just had Oleg live, and that was it. The boss got stuck here. I didn't have enough damage to kill it very fast, but it got stuck and it wasn't an issue, which was really nice to have. Because you couldn't kill Oleg, and I had time to build up like 3 Silas ulted, like ultimates. Sorry, my pronunciation's a bit off today. But yeah, so I had time to build up ults, and it worked out. Now, you just kind of gotta time your ults when the slimes come out so that they don't overrun you. That's why having Abomination here is so nice, and Silas over there too. I'm gonna pop Hollow ult just so that Silas can get his ultimate back soon. You can move these characters over, but I don't remember exactly the spawns that the enemies do, so I'm just gonna be leaving them here so I make sure Silas is strong enough to deal with all the mobs anyways. But yeah, there's 2 summoners here, 2 summoners here, and these 2 minions, and after that I'm pretty sure the round is done. That's kinda it. I'll show the gear at the end, but for the most part, this is kinda all you gotta do. Kill the boss or stall the boss somewhere over here, and just try to deal with the slimes as best you can. And that's really all you can do. But it's pretty self-explanatory. Anyways, the summoners have died, and there's a big boy slime, unfortunately. I'm gonna let that thing through so that Abomination can help kill it. Just because I'm kind of nearing the end, and I don't really want to take up your guys' time too much. Sorry for the wait. But anyways, boom. That is the rest of the level. Pretty easy. It is very hard early on to deal with this, as you can see, lots of damage, but you could do this with Nocturne, you could do this with Hex, you could do this with a bunch of epics. It doesn't matter, as long as you have enough damage and enough survivability. You could even swap Dolores for another healer to go on Oleg, and you should be fine. But anyways, that's that. Let's go over the gear. I have a really good set on Silas. I could probably beat this boss in Nightmare with this thing, but you don't need this. I had like a really bad Night Terror set, which is on my Arrogance now. I say it's bad, but it's not horrible. As you can see, just a lot of attack. This worked on hard the first time I did it. This Vienna gear, it's decent stats. Stats over sets a lot of the time. This is pretty good. Abomination, I just have high HP because I use him as a fighter hybrid and some offensive stats. I would like him with more attack speed, but he doesn't have it. Who else did I use? I used Wrath. Wrath has good offensive stats, but you do not need very good offensive stats. He works with a lot less. I have him pretty low HP. You can have more HP. Dolores, I just build her with lots of attack. It doesn't really matter. My Vortex is built pretty well. Unfortunately, it's not the most accurate representation of what the gear you need is, but this is pretty good. Oleg has pretty good stats too. And Hollow I have for a clan boss or guild boss, so she doesn't actually heal like crazy, but she is just nice to have. And I don't remember who else I used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's everything I used. And that's it. Hopefully this helps at all, or you could take inspiration, tweak the strategy, and have it work for you. But yeah, this is it. Oh, I got the best mage accessory. I mean mage artifact. Nice. Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, hope this helps, and hope you guys have a great night. Bye bye.